Kawaki delivers the destructive pain of karma in a super exciting chapter of Boruto, Naruto Next Generations. One word to describe this chapter of Boruto, one freaking word: brutal. Kawaki in battle in this chapter was absolutely brutal and ruthless with the way he utilized his karma abilities. This was a really solid chapter of Boruto, not only because it was just packed with tons of really awesome action, but we finally got some answers as to what the deal is with Kawaki in the first place. We learn in this chapter that he is indeed a inorganic, synthetic human. In a way, he's essentially a cyborg. He's not a clone like Mitsuki, who was actually created from organic materials. He was a human who was imbued with inorganic materials, and that seems to be sort of the theme for Kara at this point. It is hinted that a lot of the members are fully cybernized themselves, and with the introduction of Owl Cyborg and even Garo in this chapter right here, it pretty much seems to be their MO. And apparently, Kawaki is like their ultimate creation, their vessel, something that they can constantly upgrade and put things into. He's the ultimate weapon, but why were they creating him? What is Kara's goal in the first place? That's still all utter mystery, but you're not even going to care about it because when you read this chapter of Boruto, you're just going to be obsessed with all of the amazing action which is unfolding before you. The battle between Garo and Kawaki is really, really solid, especially because Kawaki is able to have all of these like weird weapons emerge from his body, all of these giant spikes and arms, which he can use in a number of different ways, not only to enlarge his arms and create giant blades, he can use them as projectiles, they can cause all sorts of pain. But it's not until he actually uses his karma abilities where things really get kicked up to 11, because as cool as Kawaki is with his transforming arms, Garo actually manages to beat the crap out of him, and it looks like he's getting ready to take him back forcibly when suddenly the karma seals on Boruto and Kawaki's arms start to react, and that's when suddenly he's imbued with all of this power, which allows him to basically shoot these massive blasts of fiery chakra from his hands, and he completely just obliterates one of Garo's hands, and then after that proceeds to just destroy his body until the only thing that's left is his lower torso. It's one of the more violent scenes that I've actually seen from the entire Naruto franchise, and man was it a great display of the karma abilities. Now while these karma abilities are really awesome and they give you a lot of cool powers and techniques, apparently Kawaki does not like using them. They come at the risk of possibly hurting his body or destroying it entirely, and it also seems to be active only when Boruto actually is near him or they have like some sort of connection, as when they actually utilize the karma, you actually see the seal on their hand, which rises up their arm, going up to their head. And they both each have one on their distinctive left and right hands. So there's a connection between these two characters, which is known as a resonance. This is what Kashin Koji actually tells us in this chapter. And rather than actually try to get Kawaki back, he decides that this is a good opportunity to get some more information about what karma is truly capable of. Something that maybe the other members of Kara probably don't agree with, but apparently Kashin Koji has a lot of pull in this organization, so that's what they're actually going to do. Kawaki ends up getting knocked out, and they decide that they're actually going to bring him back to Konoha Village, and if the future will tell us anything, we can see that this relationship is not going to go that well. But I'm interested to see how long Kawaki is actually going to stay around, considering that at the beginning of Boruto, when we see him and Boruto actually fighting, they are a little bit older, so yeah, intrigued by this shit right here. So what's the rundown on this chapter of Boruto Naruto Next Generations? Man, this was just a really exciting chapter right here. Getting to learn that Kawaki himself is actually basically just a cyborg human is a really big deal from the Naruto series when you realize that technology has like fully come forward in the series at this point. It's something that they've slowly been building up to, but it's really shocking to see that we already have someone in this world who has essentially become a full-on cyborg. This of course means that there's a genius scientist out there who probably has has evil intentions and could maybe even be the true leader of Kara. You know, there's going to be a lot of mystery to what these guys are actually going to do, and they seem to take losing their vessel in stride as well. I mean, Kashin Koji's pretty confident in their abilities and being able to possibly get him back, but he also knows that eventually Kara will play its cards and they will be able to destroy the ninja world. It's really exciting stuff. I have to say, I didn't predict anything like this from the Boruto series, and that's what's really making this arc all the more epic, which is ultimately, I think, going to lead into some of the best parts of this series. Really, the Boruto manga series right now is finally starting to differentiate itself from the Naruto series in the best ways possible, while still managing to carry a lot of the spirit of that show as well. And frankly, that's really cool. But I'm really interested to learn more about the connection between Kawaki and Boruto. I mean, there's so much mystery behind all of this, and I'm kind of curious to see how it's all going to go down, and how this all possibly ties into the Otsuzukis as well, as this whole seal thing didn't happen until the defeat of Momoshiki, and I can't wait to see if an Otsutsuki actually had a confrontation with Kara as well, as how they were able to harness that power. It's still so incredibly mysterious, and the only reason I mostly bring that up is that currently in the anime version, they're doing that arc from the movie with Momoshiki and Kinshiki, and even the introduction of the new character of Orashiki, who could potentially maybe even appear again in the manga version, as we still don't know what he's going to do in the anime. So yeah, there's just so many crazy things that could happen at this moment, but really this was a great display of the Karma's power and how destructive it truly is, and it looks really cool. Like I said, it's basically just kind of like a chakra blast, but it kind of looks very fiery in the way that it's activated, and the final attack that he does on Garo just creates this massive ball of destruction with everything getting sucked into a vortex and just getting utterly erased. It looked awesome, and that combined with the great artwork of this chapter made it all the more exciting. It also had some surprisingly funny moments. I love how Sarada said her head's starting to hurt when she starts to realize all the crazy things that are actually going on at this moment. Truly, this is a unique part of the Naruto franchise that I think fans really need to check out, because it truly is doing something different. And it's really exciting as well, and totally living up to all of the best parts of the original Naruto series. So yeah, I loved this chapter right here, which is why I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. I loved the action in this chapter, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about it in the comments section below. What did you think of the first real introduction to the Karma power? Do you have any theories as to how Kawaki and Boruto are actually connected with this weird resonance? What did you think of Garo getting his ass kicked, and what do you hope to see from the rest of the Boruto manga series? Thank you guys for watching this review. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, stay down now, baby.